So today I'm actually becoming, in some sense, no Fuji X person. So this is my Fuji X1H with power grip and many other things. So I sold it. I need to ship it. So basically all I have is this DJI, my iPhone. So I've heard like people are saying don't marry the camera, kind of, but it was some kind of other thing. Basically, don't marry the camera, marry the lens, which is kind of strange. If this is Fuji X, it has X lens, FX, whatever they call it, X mount, FX mount. Why do I need to marry the lens? I think that saying actually is for cinematography. It's not really for photography. I don't think so. And what they meant by that is probably about PL mount. PL mount basically is used with many cinema cameras. It's the most probably famous mount, PL. So, the most famous mount. So with that mount, yeah, you can marry the lens. Because most likely you will find the body. If one body, because body is electronics, one body goes wrong, or like say specs outdated, yeah, you can change the body. You keep the lens. You can keep the lens for like, suppose FX9, Sony FX9 outdated. I want FX9 2, FX9 3, FX9 4, 5, 6, and you keep the same lens. Now that would be like E mount, right? But with PL mount, it's different. You keep PL mount lens, and then you have adapter, PL to Sony, PL to Canon, PL to whatever, ARRI, PL to Red. I think, honestly, that saying is only applicable for PL mount. So if I have a certain lens, and let's say E mount, and what if Panasonic came to super camera? So I need to have a from Sony E to Panasonic adapter. I don't know, but to me it's only for PL mount, because if I'm selling right now, it's already sold. This Fuji is already sold. I'm right now actually driving. I need to ship it. I need to buy box. I buy box from Home Depot. I buy box for that. Put inside and ship it. It's when you buy box, actually, it comes for the price comes better if you do it at the post office. So anyway, if I have Fuji X body, this is body and power grip. I had the package body and power grip together. That's why box is so big. So if I sold this one, I'm selling lens too. Come on. Why would I need to marry Fujifilm crop sensor lens for what? I don't. That's why some people actually don't want to switch from one camera to other, because it's not only the camera, they need to sell lens too. So that's saying about marry the lens, it's probably for manual lens, no data. You know, the data reading, all those contacts, data reading. So no data reading, it's PL mount probably. They meant this one because I can tell you there is suppose there is Sony, okay, Sony camera, and there is adapter made by Sigma. There is adapter from Canon EF to Sony. At the same time, Sigma is making lenses EF mount. So what you can do is you can adapt Sigma lenses with EF mount to Sony. It will read, it will focus. But if you put real Canon lenses on that adapter, autofocus might don't work, or certain things will not work, because mount is one thing, but the reading, the info reading and data, sometimes might don't work. So if that will not work, why do I need to marry? It's people say, but that's, if you look deeply into that, you don't need to marry anything. If I have Fuji X, this one XH1, if I'm not planning to buy Fuji, you need to sell lens too. Don't marry. Don't try to play with adapters. Adapters are bullshit. Unless it is for cinematography, PL adapter to whatever. PL to Sony, PL to Canon. Because you're not gonna use it. You are not gonna use that information, most likely. It's not out of focus. PL mount actually, most likely no information, you know, unless some kind of newer version, special version. The thing is, about information, you need to know everything about electronics of that company. Many times they don't know. How do I know about electronics of that company, all the schematics? It's not only autofocus giving signal here and there, it's more than that. Anyway, I got the box. It's kind of strange to go to Home Depot for one small box. But it's okay because it's close. Because post office does not offer many sizes, but you can get it at Home Depot for cheap price. This box costs like $1.40 or something. Anyway, I was talking about getting married. My school, I finished New York Institute of Photography. I have a certificate, so I finished it. They never said about marrying lens and stuff like that. They did say, actually, stay away from zoom lenses. Better stay with prime lenses. Now, in this case, if I have Fuji, that X mount, crop sensor mount, I don't need even prime lenses because I have in mind some other camera. And today, because of the electronics and reading, all these contacts for reading, I don't want to marry any lenses unless it is for cinematography, some kind of PL mount special lens that you pull, manual focus. Otherwise, I'm not keeping it. Like in the United States, from 91 to today is 2024. So 91, so 9 years plus, say 24, like 33 years. For 33 years, I had, believe it or not, Olympus OM1. OM1 is like all mechanical, and then OM4. It's like mechanical plus you can add some other stuff. It was Olympus all mechanical, and second one mechanical plus, like you can add aperture priority and stuff like that. And then I had Canon, you know, this film camera, Canon. And then I had my Mia RZ67, and then I had Canon, some Canon. I believed in that stupid stuff, digital. Everybody go with digital. I need to go with digital. Actually, my Mia RZ67 is better than beginning of those Canon digital. Anyway, I got Canon digital, and later I got 5D, Canon 5D digital. Then I got bigger body, look like, you know, 1DX Mark III, kind of that size, digital. And then I got this one, Fuji. That was my first time experience. Fuji crop sensor. Now today I do look at baby Fuji, but I don't like crop sensor Fuji for what I need, because I'm interested in landscape photography. And Fuji is offering, I like GFX So today I like Fuji, but like those 100S or 102 with 100 megapixels, or 50R, 50S, and I like let's say 23 millimeter lens, something like this. I do like Fuji, but some other cameras. I actually believe crop sensor for landscape is not that good. You know, what's his name? Ansel Adams. He was working with big box. I did study at school. For me, that big box is saying for landscape photography you need to have medium format, like one of the best or the best medium format. So Fuji 100 Mark II or 100S, that would be the right choice for me today. And for fashion photography, for, you know, for good money making, product photography, you know, expensive watches and stuff like that, that you can sell to magazine, or you can work with magazine. I need something, I need a medium format for that. But if I'm like in sport, I need, most likely I like to go back to Canon, you know, whatever is better for sport. So anyway, right now I'm gonna go and ship it. That's it, no more Fuji X-H1. It's alright. I need the money. So what's my next camera? I'm not sure. I need something for video. I would say for me, pictures, if I take pictures, I need something like medium format. For like landscape, I have certain landscape desire, I guess, to take nice pictures of landscape, ocean. So for that I need medium format. But my other need is video, like with ventilation. What I found actually, having Fuji, I need actually camera that can record 60p, and for today many people record 4K, so I need 4K 60p. I see some cameras don't offer that, or if they offer, it will be big crop sensor, you know, that what they call it, the factor. And if I have that factor, I need to buy additional lens. So if I buy, let's say, one camera, and because of 4K there is no crop, like I have in mind Sony FX30, because of 60p there is no big crop. It's like 1.05, it's actually almost no crop. So but some cameras, because of 4K 60p, they do huge crop, then you need to buy additional lens, which actually doesn't work for me. I don't want additional lens. So I might, for video, I might get Sony FX30, but for pictures, most likely it's gonna be medium format. Honestly, today you cannot impress anyone unless it is medium format. The quality. So that's all I have in mind. But for today I got the money. I can shop around. So my advice, don't marry any camera. They will have new cameras, new formats, new beats, new Mbps. They will make everything faster, more formats, all kind of stuff like this. So I don't really like to marry camera, because honestly Fujifilm is like 8-bit camera, good 8-bit, but if I want like 12-bit, then I need to look at camera can give output 12-bit. So, and for lenses, I normally, if I sell the camera, I sell lenses too. I just go with like a different system, different camera. So if I need Fuji GFX, then I need GFX lenses. I don't need crop sensor lenses. Or if I buy Sony, I need Sony mount lenses. I don't want to play with adapters. It's possible, but I don't want to play with adapters. So anyway, I would suggest don't marry even lenses unless you have super cinematic lens, PL mount, or if you're sure, if you are so 100% sure your next camera is Canon, then keep the Canon lens. Or if your next camera is Sony, keep the Sony mount lens. Like me today, I don't want to buy Fujifilm. I just decided to go with something else. So I still have I sold all my Fuji lenses. I have only one left. So it's on eBay. eBay takes so much money. eBay is just unreasonably charging. They're charging too much. Almost quarter. Whatever you sold, they take almost quarter. That's too much. So anyway, that's all I can say. But I'm looking at today's specs, which are different than I had like 4 years ago. I think that Fuji X-H1 I had like I would say 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. But after 3 years, things changed. So today I need something different. Okay, a little bit more about equipment, because I see different talks on YouTube, and in some sense it's interesting for me. The decision, some people like Panasonic S5 2X, and some people like Sony FX30, because the price range is kind of the same, because actually today you can get pretty much for the same price 5 2X or FX30. So there is like a debate. Some people actually don't like if somebody is putting them down because of FX30. They kind of resist, I guess. So there is like disagreement in some sense between FX30 people and between S5 2X or S5 or S5 2, but most likely it's gonna be X. Anyway, what I think additionally to whatever I was talking about, so if you go to like Netflix, I go back. For me to like the easiest way to judge would be to go to this. Now, beside cameras on Netflix, you look at this one, Kodak, this one, 422. So they don't really even like 420 and 10 bit or greater. So to me, anything greater than 10 bit, for FX30 you should record externally. Basically you need to have that Ninja V plus, because I like 60 frames per second, so I like Ninja Plus or Ultimate. So anyway, you look at this rate, that's what considered like for better quality. And another thing is this one, data rate 240 Mbps, megabytes per second. So this normally for a good quality, good format, usually certain flow of the data is going. So like for instance for camera, for digital camera, you take picture and you have certain megabytes for one picture, 20 megabytes, but you are looking at that. But when it comes to video, it is constantly going. It's like pictures keep going. So for pictures keep going, to attain certain quality, basically it's certain approximate certain volume, it should constantly keep going. So if the data rate is small, only a small, I would say, like quality can go. You know what I mean? So it's like a processor. For processor to process big file, you need to have bigger, better processor. What's bigger, better processor? It's more megabytes per second going. So anyway, if there is a tag to me between different people on YouTube for megabytes, no, not for megabytes. When it comes to sensor, they say megabyte. That's for pictures. But when it comes to video, it is megabytes, but it should constantly keep going. Or they reduce. So like YouTube, when you download to YouTube, they will reduce. It will not be, even if you shoot at 240 Mbps, when you download to YouTube, they will reduce that rate, because they don't have network and processors for you to show at 240. They will reduce whatever, 50 or even less. So what happens to cameras? Yeah, they record maybe 4K, but if you look at low Mbps, most likely it's kind of like reduced on something. It's not really 4K. Even if you see on YouTube it says 4K, they recorded in 4K, but because it was reduced so much after that, I don't know if it's really 4K. So anyway, I just talk about Netflix. So if you look at 240, that's minimum. So I was checking on that. So basically, the Panasonic S5 2X in most cases cannot be approved. In most cases cannot, because it's recorded at 200, but they say minimum 240. Okay, now, and it should be not only minimum 240, it's for this one 422. So if you have 240 with 420, it's not good enough. So if you focus on just 422, so suppose you want to get as close as possible to Netflix requirement, and Netflix is not a big screen. In most cases they're looking at smaller screen. It's not a really cinema requirement. It's a lower requirement to me, because for Hollywood, for real cinema, if they shoot with Sony, the top of Sony, that cameras, it tells me, because it has good specs. I think it's a Sony Venus, and now they have Burano. But anyway, I can talk later. So what you have is, and I look at that too, 422 and data rate at least 240. Now Panasonic, if you look at approved cameras, suppose Panasonic, oops, what happened? Okay, so they only approve this one, S1H, because S1H is allowing 400 MBS or Mbps, whatever this one. Sometimes they're at MBS, sometimes Mbps. So megabytes per second, right? And this is like a crop sensor, but this one box full size. This allows 2. Now, even if it says this one or that one, it's not always they mean internal. It could be external. You see, 422, all 400. Okay. Now, if you look at this camera, this one is actually, right now you can get on eBay at quite low price. This one 400, but you need to upgrade most likely firmware. This camera in reality today you can get used one. You can get this used, and this is Super 35, but it has more like cinematic looking setup. And I found on eBay, they will ship from Japan for $1,600. It's a good option if you like Super 35, and it has this one, the required 422. Now, if you look at suppose so S5 2X, shop Panasonic. Okay, let's shop Panasonic. I need specs. Sometimes they don't put. You need to keep looking for specs. Where's the place for specs? Okay, I go some other place. I like this one. No, this one, easy. Now, if you look at this, so if you are focused on 422 and over 240, now what do you have with this one? Well, this is all 200. You cannot
For them, they need at least 240. This one, so to me, this they will not approve this one for Netflix. Let me see. External recorder. Okay, 12 bit. Now this doesn't say that one, MBS. Now at the same time, if you look at S1H that they approved, you can buy new even. This is like hard to find, mostly used right now. Okay, if you look at this one, okay, 422. So first of all, this internally cannot record. Okay, this one you can. 422 10 bit. They need at least 10 bit. Now this one is still 400. That's why it was saying all 400. So with this one, 422 DCI. Now this one you cannot record 60 frames per second. So to me that's not really for action movie. If you want to make action movie, you would look at probably 50. Like this is 25, 50. In America they call 60, but what is good about this camera, I like this format. Let me see. It's called 48. 48. This one. This one 48. But it's kind of below 240 Netflix. But this one 48. I will talk later. It's a good one. I actually think most cameras, expensive ones, they should have that. So this is 48. Okay, now look at 422 10 bit. Suppose I want this one, but let's say 400. There is no 48. You see, with this camera, there is no action movie high speed. You can have 400 with 24, 25. Now if you look at external, okay, this one you can have UHD 50 and you can have DCI 50. Now I don't see here about MBS or MBPS. So basically, if it's 400, then this one for external, that's okay for action movie. So 5 doesn't give it. Now if you look at FX30, I'm just trying to get closer to suppose Netflix requirements. They didn't approve this camera, they approved FX3. Now if you look at that, okay, external, you see they don't put the beats, not that beats but Mbps. But I think I've seen it on Sony side. Okay, Sony side, I forgot, Shop Sony or something like that. uh, FX30. Sony, this one. And then you go specs. See more. Now, I need to see this MBS. Okay, this one. So with this one, 600. So it's this one, XAVCS 1 4K. With this one, you need to have definitely compact, not compact, but a CF Express. Because I don't think there is SD card like that, 600. You might be able to find, but I doubt. 300, yes, not 600. So suppose you need a card for the CF Express. Now with this you can record action, because you can have 60p, 422, 10 bit. That's why I'm considering this camera for myself for travel, because I found 30 frames per second is not enough. Normally in life you have moving subjects. I found the best is like 50p or 60p, and I'll show you later a proof of that, for a proof from Hollywood. Now so this one has 50p. 50p is like European standard. I think actually I like European standard. They have 50p or 25p. They don't have those 59.94, and another one is like this, 29.97, and there is one 24. There is one exactly, but there is one not exactly. But when I look at European formats, they don't have this with 0.97. They only have 25 or 50. So I personally like 50. In general, if you travel, the electricity flickering is different than American. Most likely you need to use 50 because of the flickering, that frequency. So anyway, my personal choice, I would probably go with 50. I'll show you why. 4K 50, 500 Mbps, 422. So I'm above 240, the requirement, and I have 422. That's what they like, and I have 10 bit. And they actually, if they accept Panasonic, that Evo, which is Super 35, and this camera is Super 35, so this is okay. To me, that's alright. Now if you look down, like you see this 185, 111, so I would not really record like this. If I want good quality, I would go only with this one. This is 1, I guess, S1 or SI 4K. That's HD. This one, suppose not S1 but just S, it has 200, so it's not working for me. And then yeah, 422 working, but 200 doesn't work. Now this one 420 doesn't work. Okay, this one 140 doesn't work. So basically S doesn't work for me. Only S1 is working. And this one what? 50 or this, all this like 250, that you can record on SD card. If for some reason something happened to your flash card, not flash, CF Express, then you cannot really go with 600. But I have, for instance, 250. My card, I have two cards. 250 speed. You know what I mean? 250. On SD card, you look in the corner. Right now there are 300s. I like 300s. You see, like this small. Where they cut like this, there is, it says here, this is a Lexar. So this is 250. So with 250, I could record this on Action 59, which is 60 frames per second, 422 on SD card. It would write, because 422, but my reading is 250, so it should write. Now some cards I see, like those CF Express, it says W, one number, and R, another number. W, it means writing. The writing speed, sometimes you see it's lower. The writing speed is lower, and R, reading speed, is higher. So this would be writing speed. You would write on the card. So if it says W on CF Express, this is writing speed. So for me, I can write this on SD card. This on top, that S1 I cannot. Like these bottom ones, yes. Well, 240 or 250. I like to go a little bit over to be safe. So let's say 240 MB, yes. So that will be 4K, 24 per second frames, 422. That would be. So suppose my CF Express, something full or on, I have only, suppose, one choice. So I would record probably 24, 4K 24. That would be as close as possible. The same 422 10 bit, but it's not really for big action kind of stuff. So I would try to shoot, but try to eliminate big moving stuff. So that's what I think about this camera. It's actually not a bad camera. I actually understand the point of view of people who resist, kind of. Some people are saying, "Oh, Panasonic," but Sony is kind of. But if you go to like this one S1 or SI 4K, Panasonic internally cannot record 60p with 422, and with the rate of 240 or more. But this camera can. Now, if you look at more external, I'm looking at external. This is internal, right? I want to find external. External should have 16 bit, but it will record 12 bit. Let me see. Different companies are putting in different ways. I don't know where to look for external. Okay, this one, internal. Storage temperature. Okay, I don't see that. How come some people put external, some don't? On Sony, I don't see that. Maybe I'm looking at something wrong. Anyway, I know. I think started external specs. Okay, what is this one? So this one external. Okay, 422. And it has that ProRes, which many people would require. Like the what do you call it? The Netflix, they actually require RAW. So this would give you RAW output. ProRes RAW 16-bit. Well, I don't see Mbps, but I assume it's pretty high. But I would check on it too. Let me see. External. Mbps. External recording. External recording. Well, you need to have firmware update. Sometimes I've seen it on Netflix. They say with certain firmware, like that Panasonic, that Evo, whatever that camera I was talking about. You need a certain software. You need to basically search. Okay, RAW. This is from Sony. How to set up. But I want to get closer to this MBS. Okay. Anyway, so you can check. But I can see for myself if it's not, if I don't need 12 and RAW, I'm okay with no RAW, just that, whatever they have, S-Lock, or this washed out color. Because for RAW you need to have a big, good computer. I don't have that. So anyway, why I was talking about 48. So if you look at like the most probably money-making movie, Titanic. Movie. Oops. I have those caps. Frame rate. I've seen it somewhere. High frame rate. So basically, I remember. Okay, Titanic movie frame rate 48 frame per second. So some movies I don't know, I cannot see it, but basically Titanic, or you can see this one, movies with 48 FPS. This one. So if you look at action movie, that's actually I would address to people who talk about cinematic, always about 24. 24 is not the only cinematic. There are different. So this one, let's look at films. Okay, Momentum, frame 48. Titanic 48. This is the most money making movie, 48. This is 50. That's what I like to use for myself, 50, because mostly cameras don't have 48, but it's close to 48. 50 is close to 48. Anyway, Japanese 60. This one 48. 60. So this one, list of films with high frame rates. I like to use high frame rate for travel, for all those buses and trains and airplanes and fast moving subjects. I like 60 or 50. So that's why I was looking at cameras, what camera can record internally. So FX30 can. Other one maybe yes, but not enough Mbps. I'm kind of far away. Anyway, so this one even 120, 60, 96, 48. You see, I don't see that Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. From what I know, it wasn't 48. From what I know, they were shooting 48. basically this another place to see high frame rate. This is 60, 48, 48, 48, 48. This 120, 60, 60. Okay. Titanic, you see 48. This 60, 48. But I think somewhere I've seen that Saving Private Ryan. You see 48. Yes, yeah. But anyway, I'm not sure. But anyway, there are movies like Titanic for me. Titanic, it's the highest gross movie. Was made by with 48 FPS. So for me, it is cinematic. I don't care who tells me what. So even if everybody's saying 24 is cinematic, to me 48 is cinematic. Titanic movie gross earnings 3.2 billion. Take a look. So if anybody is saying 3.2 billion is not cinematic, I don't know. You probably don't know something. So that's how I look. So what I found actually, well, that FX30 has good autofocus, but if I don't mind to pull focus, I might consider S1H. S1H, there is a good adapter to it, which is Sigma. So it would be like Canon Cine lens, that L type. They are not expensive, but they are sharp. Sigma, Canon EF 2L. So that would cost $200. So Sigma EF is the same as Canon EF. That information might be a little bit different, but overall this works with 5.2x and Canon lenses, like L-type lenses, those professional lenses. It will work. So, but I don't see 5.2x has over 240. So today, if you don't like that, then you can get like BS 1H, that box. That box will allow you 400. So that's why they approved this box for Netflix. So if you have like, you see, this box has 400. It doesn't have 200 like camera. But with this one you need to pull the focus, because autofocus is not great. So if you like new, this is a good choice, 400. Now it has 12 beats, Well, this one doesn't have 50. I don't see 50. This has 50, but it doesn't say Mbps. You will need to do your research. But anyway, for me, I found actually FX30 based on specs is actually kind of within Netflix specs. Or S1H. But to me, 522, no, the 522X probably most likely because of Mbps they will not approve. That's all I can say. I like 48. If Sony doesn't allow, I use 50. 50 is the closest one. In America, everybody's 60, but as soon as you leave America, you go Europe, you go India, or many other places, they have 50 FPS. 50 is like European, but it is used in many other countries beside Europe. So if I don't like 60 with 600, and I can choose 50 with 500. For me, I'm okay. Travel video 500 and 50. That's all I can say. I hope it is helpful. I know it's hard to find a camera. You wanna have kind of low budget, and then within your low budget, you cannot find. You need to look really hard. You might find something. So to me, actually, all those Sony formats, like for FX30, I only need probably 1 or 2 or 3. The rest I don't need. Anyway, have a good time. Bye.